What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love the Shy, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today, we're going to be talking about the Shy Season 8, Episode 10, the series finale. This is the recap. So down below, I want you guys to let me know, how did y'all feel about this episode? Of course, this is a bittersweet moment. The end of the Shy. I mean, it's been a long time coming, but I guess we are here, and now it's time to say goodbye to the show. But of course, we got one more recap, y'all. I want to thank y'all for supporting your boy since December of 2017 when I dropped the first recap for the show. And this year, it will make it 9 years. And it doesn't really seem like it was that long ago, but man, time flies. And when you watch the show from the very beginning and you see how the majority of these characters, they grown up on the screen. I mean, it's like watching your family, you know what I'm saying? Seeing Jake, Papa, and Kevin go from kids to being young adults. I mean, as I told you, it's crazy just watching the growth, not just from them, but from other characters as well. And it's been a long time coming, y'all. But we are here. It's the final episode. Shout out to your girl, Lena Waithe, for even being able to bring this show, these stories, you know what I'm saying, not being scared to tell these stories regardless of the criticism, the haters. I mean, there was a lot going on, especially after the second season of the show. I mean, a lot of adjustments was made. A lot of fans was believing that maybe the show would end after season 3, but no, it continued to go all the way up to season 8, and it became the longest reigning black drama TV series in the history. So with 8 seasons, they definitely did their thing, and you don't get 8 seasons for nothing. You know what I'm saying? People are tuning in, watching the show, whether you so-called didn't like the show or you liked it. You made sure you tuned in and you watched, and you seen how these stories ended regardless. And I guess they did what they had to do in order to make that happen. So man, shout out to Lena Waithe, shout out to the cast of the show for doing their thing throughout all these years and giving us these stories, man. But it is bittersweet. And it was a crazy series finale. As I told you guys in my quick thoughts, early impressions, it was a reunion / celebration type of an episode. You know what I'm saying? Everybody pretty much showed up, showed out, and had fun all together for the final time. Of course, we saw the return of your boy Kevin, Nina, LaPortia, of course, Tracy, she popped up. Dre was there as well. I mean, everybody was in this episode for the most part, and it was good to see that. But of course, we know the big thing of the episode was Bakari going to make it? And yes, your boy Bakari was able to make it out alive. They teased these parallels of Menace to Society all season long, and he was able to, beat those parallels. And that's a good thing. We all wanted to see it happen. Your girl Lene, she is pregnant. We found out that at the end of the episode, and it seems like Bakari, he also got his happy ending. But let's go ahead and begin this recap. I will try to focus on all the key points in this final episode of The Shy. If I miss anything, I want you guys to let me know down below. So what do we see in The Shy Season 8, the series finale titled The Last Dance? Now the episode starts out with Emmett and Keisha, and once again, Keisha is crying about this whole thing with Tiffany, this whole nuck if you buck stuff. I'm tired of seeing Keisha cry about this. And Emmett is telling her Tiffany did what she had to do. I mean, Nuck took out her baby's daddy. And of course, Keisha's like, man, so you taking her side? Well, it ain't about taking no sides. It's about speaking facts. Like, come on. And we know that Tiffany, she is the mother of Emmett's child. So she's, still going to be around. She's still going to be a part of the family regardless, right? So Emmett is trying to make everything work out. Your girl Keisha does not want Tiffany, in the wedding at all. And she does not want to have the wedding at Tiffany's, house, which does make sense. Who wants to have a wedding at a damn burial site? Now, I do agree with that. Now, Emmett is like, look, I'm going to take care of it. Don't worry about it. And of course, we know he ends up meeting up with Rashad and your boy Victor. He asks them to be his groomsman and they accept. And he also asks Rashad if he can use his backyard. So he is planning on having the wedding back there, which is a very smart idea, in my opinion. Now, we also know that Tiffany finally goes over to have this conversation with Keisha. We've been waiting for this. And of course, Tiffany, she is saying sorry. Keisha ain't really trying to hear it, but Keisha does tell her eventually she will forgive her. And after Tiffany explains why she did what she did to Nuck, we can kind of tell that, Keisha started to kind of understand, like, okay, he took out your baby's daddy or whatever, and you did what you had to do. I mean, let's not forget that Nuck was a very bad person. Back in season 3, he had that trafficking house. Remember that house? You know what I'm saying? He ain't the best guy. And Keisha, you not with Nuck no more. Know what I'm saying? Acting like you still was with him. As y'all was talking about, Keisha cried more for Nuck than she cried for Emmett when he got shot. Like, what the hell is going on up in here? Every damn episode asking about him. Where's Nuck at? Please, we're done with it. Know what I'm saying? That's one thing that I would not miss is crying over Nuck. He up out of here. We still smoking on that Nuck if you buck pack. But of course, as I told you guys, this pretty much ended the issues between Keisha and Tiffany for the most part, because we know later on in the episode that Tiffany, she was still a part of the wedding. So, hey, it is what it is with that one. Now we get to Bakari and Brittany, and Bakari is telling her that now, finally, he is ready to go to Atlanta. Like, to be honest, Bakari, you should have been gone a few episodes ago. Why you still here? Know what I'm saying? I understand y'all got to pack and all that stuff and get ready. I understand you want to be, in the wedding, or you want to go to the wedding at least. But come on. I would have been up out of here. I would have disappeared. Matter of fact, I would have made it seem like I was going to Atlanta and went somewhere else. Ain't no way in the hell I'm about to get smoked by no damn Rafi. But that's just me. Now also, we know Emmett, he ended up meeting up with his father, Darnell, and he let him know that he saw Jada in his dreams. Just like Darnell told him at the very beginning of the season. So we knew eventually that Jada was going to pop up in his dreams. We saw that in the last episode. And he said, look, basically it was her idea to have the wedding in the backyard. So it's going to give us like that parallel with Darnell and Jada when they got married. I'm pretty sure they had it in the backyard as well. And we know Darnell, he ended up walking her to the front of the house and he told her this is going to be our new place. So a lot of history has been at that house, and it is good to see that they're going to be having the wedding there. And of course, they showed a lot of respect to your girl, Jada. Now we get to Keisha and Riley. They're getting ready for the wedding, and man, they filming this like it's a real wedding for real. As I told you, it felt like that, especially watching Keisha and Emmett's journey. I mean, it was crazy, right? Now, of course, Keisha is giving Riley all her respects, telling her that she is glad that she is here, supporting her and all that stuff. And of course, we know the OG, Nina, she returns to give her daughter that support. And seeing Nina's face, all it does is remind me of the very beginning of the show. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you guys, it feels like family. It's like, damn, we haven't seen you in quite a bit, and now you're here. And we know Nina, she did apologize to Keisha because she was not there for the birth of her second child. But Keisha did forgive her because she said, you know what? You was at least here for the first one, right? So they hugged it out. Very emotional moment. And of course, I know the fans, they were waiting to see your boy, Kevin. And then we get to Emmett and Devontae. And Emmett, he wants his son, Devontae, to hold the ring. This was a very emotional moment. Devontae's like, man, what if I lose the ring? And Emmett told him he's not going to lose it. He trusts him or whatever. And Devontae didn't lose the ring. I ain't going to lie. I thought he was going to lose it, messing around with Tevin and Mondo. I just thought something was going to happen, but that did not happen. It was no drama at all at the wedding. And now, the return of your boy Hannibal. I guess since Nuck if your buck is up out of here and Reg is locked up, this is the best time for him to pop up, especially right in time for the wedding. Now, Angie, she was kind of shaking in her boots because she knows that she is messing around, getting her cheeks clapped by Smitty, right? And Hannibal already knows what time it is, but she's like, look, you've been gone for a while, know what I'm saying? He didn't really trip about it like that for real. He understands. And he's like, look, how about we go to Emmett and Keisha's wedding together? How about this be our last dance? So you already know that Angie, she was happy as hell that it was not about to be any issues between the two. But to me, Angie kind of slow in the head. Like, you messing around with Smitty. He be beating on girls, can barely keep a damn job. I mean, always getting locked up. Like, what the hell is you thinking about? Talking about you can't keep these street guys away from you. Nah, you like it. And on top of that, she ended up spending Hannibal's money to bail Smitty's dusty ass out of the joint. Like, come on, Angie, you can't be trusted. Now, we get to your boy Victor and Rashad, and they're basically having their last, moments together on the show. They've been through a lot. Rashad's lawyer, Patience, she done helped them get out from being locked up on a murder charge. Dumbass Victor confessing to crimes that he didn't even do, and they had lack of evidence. I still ain't forgot about that one. But of course, it is like the final time that we're going to see these two have a very serious conversation, and they talk about their journey and the things that they've been through. And we know Victor, he was talking about that life has dealt us some bad hands. And I'm like, nah, you looked at the deck and you dealt yourself that bad hand. You just did that a few episodes ago trying to take up for Tiffany. Like, come on. But the two pretty much just had like a bonding moment. And of course, they said that they would never forget each other and their brothers for life. Now we get to the return of your boy Rafi. He pops up at Smokey's. He's having a conversation with Keith talking about where is Bakari, and Keith tells him he does not know and what does he want with him. Of course, Rafi tells him they have some unfinished business. So Keith, did you let Bakari know what time it was? Matter of fact, you probably should have did what you did in the last episode, and that is call law enforcement or something, because I'm pretty sure that Keith called law enforcement on Smitty, because after that conversation that he had with Smitty in the last episode, next thing we know, Smitty got locked up. So of course we know Rafi, he's out here looking for revenge, and it's just a matter of time before he pops up on Bakari. Now we get to Papa and Kenya, and Papa lets her know that he is sober. Since today, he is tired of drinking and smoking and all that stuff. He is tired of depending on other things to, uplift him or whatever. And it seems like we're getting the old Papa back. And Kenya, she likes this. And of course, they make a promise to never leave each other's side. So it seems like Papa is having a better ending than his beginning of the season, because that boy was looking stressed out. For a moment, it looked like Papa was ready to catch a body at the very beginning of the season. Now we get to Jake and Desiree, and we learn that Desiree will be moving in with Jake. So it seems like they're taking this relationship way more serious, and you can tell that Jake actually likes this girl. So they end up making things official between the two. Now, your boy Charles, he is here. He's going to be officiating the wedding. And of course, they're showing respects to your girl Jada. We got Tiffany. As I told you, she's a part of the wedding as well as a bridesmaid for your girl Keisha. So as I told you, that beef, I guess it didn't really matter for real, right? Now, your boy Devontae, he does not lose the ring, as we just talked about earlier on in the episode. And then, of course, we had Little Ronnie as the flower boy in the wedding. And then we get to your boy Emmett. He is waiting for Keisha to come down the aisle. And of course, she is coming down. And then they start to show us like the history between the two, the flashbacks from those earlier seasons. And this has been a crazy journey. They've been through so much. And you knew from the very beginning that Emmett really liked Keisha for real. Know what I'm saying? Especially when we got to season 3, right before Keisha got kidnapped by that sicko. We know Emmett, he showed a lot of emotion for Keisha. He was out there looking for the girl. And right before she got kidnapped on that day, we know Keisha, she was preparing to go to college. I believe she had like a track scholarship or whatever. And Emmett pretty much told her, how he felt about her for real. We can see it in his emotions and everything. And he didn't really want Keisha to go. He didn't want her to forget about him. So to me, in season 3 is when you really saw that true connection between the two, even though they had a lot of history in those first 2 seasons. Season 3 is where you knew eventually the two would be together by the end of the show. Now, of course, Keisha comes down the aisle, and your boy Kevin, he comes out and he says, "Are you ready?" So your boy Kevin, he is here, just like the majority of the fans predicted he will come. And we know he ended up giving Keisha's hand to Emmett. So this was a very great moment in the episode to see, all of them there. Of course, we saw other characters. Your girl Maisha, she was there. Your girl Tracy, she popped up at the wedding. And we know Nina ended up bringing LaPortia with her as well. Now, Emmett and Keisha end up reading their vows to each other. Once again, a very emotional moment. Know what I'm saying? As I told you, it almost felt like these two was getting married for real, especially when you watch the show from the very beginning and the things that they was talking about. I mean, damn, it's been a long time coming. Just like your boy Charles said in the wedding. Now they finally make it official. Emmett and Keisha are finally married. They jumped the broom. I mean, they was having a good old time. As I told you guys, I know the cast, they had to be, having fun for real, filming all these scenes. It, was really a party for real. Now, Emmett ends up apologizing to Tiffany, talking about he is sorry for all the things that she had to survive or whatever. And I'm like, man, she has been through a lot, but you've been through a lot as well. And she says, look, it was not all your fault. He tells her, like, look, know what I'm saying? If you need anything, I will always be here. And this is pretty much like the last scene that we seen between the two. We know Emmett and Tiffany had a crazy history, right? From being married, divorcing, Tiffany cheating, and Emmett smashing all types of girls as well. I mean, they definitely been through a lot. Now, Rashad and Victor had a lot of great things to say about Keisha and Emmett. But Rashad definitely, said some nice words about your girl Keisha, the things that she's been through, how strong she is, and how great of a mother she is as well. So this was a very emotional moment. I mean, it was so emotional. This is why I believe that maybe he saw somebody. Maybe he saw Rosalind in that trailer. But no, Rosalind was not at the wedding at all. Rashad was just very passionate about what he was saying about Emmett and your girl Keisha. Now we get to the pictures, and like I was telling you guys, it really did feel like a real wedding. We had OGs returning, Ronnie's boys. We had Sonny, he came back as well, which does make all the sense, right? We had Jake, Papa, and Kevin, the crew, back together once again. And of course, we know that Isis and Shanita, they end up hooking up and getting together. And then we see Victor, Rashad, and Emmett goofing off as well. I mean, it was a whole lot of pictures in this episode. Now, Tiffany has decided that she wants her mother to move in with her. You know what I'm saying? She's going to take a page out of Emmett and Keisha's playbook. She's going to have her mother there to support her. And of course, we know EJ, he is coming back as well. So luckily, she's able to have the family together once again. Now, we know that Victor and Fatima finally made things official. So I guess he ended up getting his happy ending while Reg got screwed over. Now we get to Emmett and Keisha, and now it's time for him to go and get that girdle. And he ends up getting it, and he throws it out. And guess who catches it? Your boy, Bakari. So Bakari was not proposing at all in that trailer. It was just him putting this up and letting Lene know that they're next. And we can tell that she was happy as hell. Bakari and Lene definitely had a happy ending by the end of the episode. Now we did get a small part in the episode with Jake, Papa, and Kevin watching Tevin, Mondo, and Devontae dance. And they're just showing us the parallels between the two because we know these guys are basically the new generation of them, right? Now we finally get to your boy Reg, and he's going to have his final scene with his brothers. You know what I'm saying? Jake, Victor, and Reg together one last time. They go and see him, and they let him know that they love him, right? He wants to let them know, don't worry about him like that. But they're going to still be there to support their brother. Of course, I'm still kind of upset that Reg had to be the one to take this major L. I also understood that not everybody was going to get a happy ending. But man, for him to take a fall for something that we all know they didn't have enough evidence before that body was found is crazy. But hey, I guess it is what it is. But shout out to your boy Barton. I mean, he came back. He brought a different type of, energy to the show. And it was good to see him have one last run on the show, especially since he was supposed to be up out of here. But nah, he had to come back from the dead and give us some more of that entertainment. Now, we know your girl Lene and Bakari, they're getting ready to leave. They're packing. Of course, Keisha, she is saying goodbye to the both of them. And we get Keisha in the final moments at the house. We know this was the OG house that Keisha, Kevin, and Nina, they lived in. And we know that they end up letting Lene stay there, right? So now that she is moving, it's time for Keisha to have one last flashback of all the good and the crazy times at the house. Her having birth of baby Ronnie. I mean, it's a lot of history, right? And then they give us like that classic TV, the end of a TV show type of a scene with Keisha looking at the house from afar with it, basically it being empty, like Bel Air, Martin, and all types of other shows. So now you know it's really coming to its end. And then they show Jake and Desiree moving in together as well. Now we finally get to your boy Bakari. He's about to have his menace to society moment, aka Reg moment as well. And then we see Bakari's eyes, and he already knows what time it is. Rafi returns, and now it's time for him to get that revenge, right? He pulls off his mask, he pulls off the strap, and he sprays your boy Bakari. He got him out there laid out all bloody. Lene is screaming. She is telling him just to breathe or whatever. Try to get through it. Next thing we know, the screen goes black, and then it tells us it's going to be 1 year later. Now it's crazy because at the end of that scene, they started to play the song by your boy Donny Hathaway, a Chicago legend, Someday I'll Be Free. It's the same song that they played at the end of The Shy Season 2, Episode 10, The Scorpion and the Frog, right? And it's also the same episode where Reg got shot, and of course he was supposed to be dead, but we know he came back in Season 7, right? So these clues alone is letting you know that maybe Bakari is still alive. Now they end up showing Tiffany and her family. We can see EJ, we see her moms, we see baby Rob, he's a little bit grown up. And of course, they finally take down that creepy ass picture of Alicia and her family. And Tiffany puts up a new picture of her family, right? So Tiffany has definitely got a better ending than she may have had if she would have ended up, getting caught for dropping off Nuck of Your Buck. Now we get to Rashad. He is kicking it with his family, Mondo and Patient. He also has a happy ending. Things are going quite well for him. And that's also a good thing. And then we can see Charles. We can see Zuri. We see Keith. Smitty, he is there as well, and Angie. Angie just can't stay away from Smitty. And it seems like Keith and Smitty don't have no issues. I still think Keith called law enforcement on him, but hey, that's just me. Now they end up showing like the conclusions of all these different characters. We can see Papa, and he has started back up his podcast. We also see your boy Reg. He is locked up, but he is reading Bakari's book, Made in the Shy, and we can tell that he's very pleased at this book. And once again, they're just teasing of if Bakari is dead or is he alive. And then they show Brittany. She is walking, and she has a box full of books. We can see Lene right here. And then we see your boy Bakari, and we know he has survived. He has a new hairstyle, of course, looking like Kid from Kid and Play. Your girl Lene, she is holding her stomach. She is pregnant, and she has on the Spellman shirt. So that lets us know that most likely that's where she is going. And your boy Bakari, he is doing these book signings. And this time he has a lot of people there, because y'all know earlier on in the season, he had no one there when he was doing the book signing, right? So things have changed a whole lot. And Bakari is giving us that look like, yes, I have survived. I have beaten those parallels. I didn't have to die. And that's a good thing, man. So shout out to your boy Ahmad Ferguson. I was definitely not ready to see him get dropped off in another show. I'm glad he was able to make it out of this one. And then we get to the conclusion of Smokies. We learn exactly where it's going to be expanding to: Houston, Atlanta, and Las Vegas. So man, Emmett has definitely come a long way, and we can tell that him and Keisha are very proud. We can also see him kicking it with his family, Darnell, of course, Riley, everybody is there, having a good old time. And then we can see Emmett and Keisha together, and we can see the painting of Jada in the back, once again showing that respect. And this is the last time that we're going to see Emmett and Keisha. Now at the end of the episode, they're giving us the parallels to Jake, Papa, and Kevin riding the bikes throughout the neighborhood. Of course, it's also giving us parallels to your boy Coogie, because this is how the first episode of the show started back in season 1. So this is where it all began. And this is actually my first thumbnail for the episode 1 recap as well. But man, it's crazy to see how things turn full circle. And we can hear Emmett talking about how when things seem like they're coming to an end, it's actually the new beginning. So we're seeing that with Devontae, Tevin, and Mondo. I already know people are going to believe it's going to be like a spinoff or whatever, but Lena Waithe has already stated that it will not be one. So we may end up talking about that in another video. But of course, shout out to your girl Lena Waithe for creating this show. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time coming. This was a very bittersweet episode, very emotional. And of course, it is sad to see it come to its end, but I guess everything does have to come to its end, and new things will end up coming after. Now, as y'all know, I have been reviewing The Chi since December of 2017. This has been a long journey. I reviewed every single episode, 88 episodes. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it has. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to actually talk about the show. Y'all know that my channel blew up because of the Power TV show, but I needed a second show that was going to be big. And The Chi was definitely that second show. It helped me with different networking opportunities. It's the reason why I got a lot of stuff sent to me. You know what I'm saying? Being able to watch a lot of these episodes early for the final season, it all came from the work that I put in on this show. Of course, as I told you, I want to thank you guys. Of course, the cast, the crew. Everybody's always shown a lot of love when it came to this show. And I told y'all know this show has been through a lot as far as the storyline and all that stuff, the negatives, the positives. But somehow, some way, it was able to continue to have a big success. And to me, that's a very good thing. It teaches you to tell your story no matter what, regardless of what people are going to think. Because at the end of the day, they're going to watch. Whether they watch to hate or they're watching because they actually love it, they will tune in. And that's exactly what happened when it came to The Chi. But down below, I want you guys to let me know, what do y'all think about The Chi in the whole? What do y'all think about the series finale? And you already know I'm going to have more videos dropping. We still got some closing out videos as well. We got to talk about some of these characters and, of course, the show in whole. So stay tuned for that. I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support throughout all these years reviewing the show. And, of course, I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.